My people, this Gbadebo don dey give Sanwo-Olu heart attack o. He don dey give Lagos governor heart attack. No be small thing o. Una know say a lot of Yorubas don see the sign wetin happen for presidential election. Now the Yoruba people come see say e be like say this Labour Party, anything wey got to do with Labour Party na dem dey press. Whether they know the person abi they don't know the person, as long as they won't vote out APC, they go press am. My people as they talk to us, so Labour Party don Gbadebo don grant interview say he na full Lagosian, say he na Yoruba guy, him papa na Yoruba, say he na Yoruba boy, say him name na Gbadebo. And I know so many people they talk say he comot him name, say him real name na Tinubu. Now because of election, now he can't go put Gbadebo. Now in the let us understand say he na Gbadebo. He name no he na Gbadebo, he na Yoruba guy, he na Yoruba man. He no be maybe people know the address and say he no be Yoruba person, no be Lagos. I say no. And a lot of people say they talk say he know they speak Yoruba. He say no be Yoruba matter. He say as long as say him brain can work for Lagos, he can work for Lagos, he can work for the Lagos people. Now my people, a lot of Yoruba people they talk say say because say mama na Igbo, they no go fit vote for am because he no be full Yoruba. He say some people say they talk say Sanwo-Olu no be from Lagos. Why some people they talk say me they remember say Lagos na Yoruba land, and again Sanwo-Olu na Yoruba person. Whether Sanwo-Olu no be from Lagos, as long as say Sanwo-Olu papa and mama na from Yoruba land, say Sanwo-Olu do wetin if he rule Lagos. Now people they use this language say this same Gbadebo no they speak at all, no they speak Yoruba, no they speak Yoruba well. And also say Gbadebo mama na Igbo, Gbadebo wife na still Igbo, and now only Gbadebo papa na come be Yoruba. So how Gbadebo wan come be governor for Lagos State? Because many Yoruba people they talk say Gbadebo, you will be say your mama na Igbo, you no go fit rule us. So say say they no go allow Ram to rule them because why they can't address them as Igbo, because they feel say in full name na they say in real name na Chinedu. Now because of election now he change am to Gbadebo. Now so we tell Yeramo. So now Gbadebo don't go grant interview, my people, because he don't grant interview say he don't talk many things we go do for Lagos people, wetin dey happen, how the APC people the way it is talk and say they know they try for Lagos, say if you reach there, see what you want to do. My people, this one go shock now because the more Gbadebo they come out for interview, the more we they see someone look for the other side, because this one now battle line and that two really draw. My people, this election go really tough for my people. My people, make una go hear from Gbadebo, make una hear wetin Gbadebo talk. Gbadebo from Labour Party, my people, make una go hear from am.
Fulani herdsmen were making incursions into Oyo and into different parts of the southwest, and people like Sunday Igboho stood up, people like Rotimi Akeredolu stood up. A lot of politicians in Lagos were quiet. They played politics with it. They were quiet. When it was time for Amotekun, they were quiet. So many interests of the Yoruba people, they were quiet because they wanted an alliance with the North, right? So they put their political interests above the interests of their people. And then all of a sudden, it's time for politics, and they remind you that this person does not speak Yoruba, this person. With the Yoruba that they've been speaking, when they fired at young people at Lekki Toll Gate, did they separate the Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa? All the Agberos on the streets that are wasting their lives, young men that are getting on drugs and have been multiplying for years, do they go and meet the ones that are Yoruba and tell them, come, we'll give you rehabilitation, or we're going to get you off the streets, we're going to ensure that you're a more productive member of society?
Are you implying that the politicians fired at the protesters
I will say from what the army has said, Governor Sanwo-Olu invited them in and gave the order.
But he's been clearing that time and again. I imagine you caught the interview.
I mean, and then what the army said during the hearing completely goes against what he said. And you're CSO of a state, right? If you do not give an order and somebody just comes and is shooting like a cowboy, you should be on ground. As the leader of the state, you should say, you cannot shoot at my people. If you have to shoot at me to get to me, to get to the people.
So you believe, even though time and again the governor has said, well, I didn't give the order in different ways, you believe that he still gave the order, and understanding how governance works, how the chain of command, not even with the police, with the military, you still believe?
I don't believe that a military setup will come and start shooting at people without carrying the governor along. It's not possible.
So you believe
Except
he
it was a
gave the
coup.
order?
I believe that. And I also believe that he saw the bodies. I believe that he was at Reddington Hospital. I believe that he saw the bodies. And there's a lot of evidence on this. So all this gaslighting that they've been doing, we're just watching them. Because it's the same thing as they're telling us that the election was won by 10,000. When we know that they took out almost 50,000 votes in Alimosho and 20,000 votes in Ikeja. There's a lot of gaslighting, politics, and tokenism that is a hallmark of the APC government.
So, but without losing sight, of the thrust of the conversation.
Controversies. We are talking about controversies.
You've contested under the COA party before.
Yes.
You've contested under the PDP before.
Yes.
And, your parentage didn't come up. Why do you think it's coming up now?
Well, because they are threatened. And the governor had several opportunities to come and give account of his stewardship of Lagos State in several debates, and he dodged all of them. And now he's seeing that the people are no longer just, I've always said my work in the last 5-6 years is to bring an entirely new voter demographic to the ballot. And this new demographic is interested in accountability. They're interested in you expressing your vision and giving account of what you've been giving, what you've done with the resources available to you. And they've seen that. Now, unfortunately, the whole argument is without substance. So they have to resort to primordial sentiment. And this is standard. When you don't really have much to offer, you try to divide people based on tribes and primordial leanings.
But if you plan to unify, Lagos, do you feel conflicted, or do you feel that you'll be unable to, since you don't speak the language?
Not at all. Lagos is a cosmopolitan state. And the fact of the matter is not as though I don't understand Yoruba or I cannot speak it. My intonations are funny. People laugh at me, and I don't think in Yoruba, right? I went to school at MIT. I went to school in Nottingham. I went to school in France. I went to school. So there's been a lot of movements in my life, right? But that does not change the fact that, listen, everybody at the end of the day wants good governance. The market woman in Lagos Island does not want to be paying all this over-taxation to Agberos that cannot be accounted for. The Igbo woman in Ladipo, similar problems. People want good governance. It's not about the language you're speaking.
Interesting. Maybe you'll do some language tests in the future, or do a
maybe that will be
I see you've
a
had to do
prerequisite.
videos time and again. But you talked about market women, the Agbero question. I'll come to that in a moment. But the market talk reminded me of the fire.
Yes.
The market Olodia Papa
Yes.
yesterday, and you were there.
Yes.
Just right after that market fire, and it was quite emotional for a lot of people.
It was emotional for me as well.
It was for you as well, seeing that goods were burned, even a life was lost in the process. And one of the other things that came up, and I think it ties back to the atmosphere pre-election, pre-governorship election, is a tweet that you put out that then was deleted. And I wonder if you would explain to Nigerians what motivated that tweet. Was it anger? Was it maybe an aide who just tweeted without
No, it was me. It was me. I'm not the person that will pass the ball.
Just so a lot of people understand that tweet. He says the APC government is so backward. I keep warning, put in mind what will happen when the tables turn. This evil, from the murder of Funshaw Williams to EndSARS to state-backed terrorism of residents of Lagos, must stop.
Yes.
For a lot of people, that was maybe, and perhaps that's why you deleted it. But give us a background information.
So for me, this government has run unaccountably for over 2 decades, right? They've empowered Agberos and touts and thugs that carry out so much violence, and they've not been brought to book. I mean, look at during the EndSARS, right in front of Alausa Secretariat, young men came out with machetes from BRT buses, and these people have not been brought to book, right? And I'm saying, power is not always going to be in your hands. So treat people how you want to be treated, because you are going to have to account for all of these things. You cannot just be carry on state-backed violence like that and not think it will eventually be investigated or you will not be brought to book. So I'm saying, whatever you are doing, just because you have power in your hands does not mean that it will always be in your hands. And at a point, you are going to have to come and account for it, right? Through legal means, right? And for me, and I've been putting this warning out consistently for about 6 months. It should be in your utterances. It should be in, the first time I said this was, one of our supporters was putting a poster of Peter Obi in Iba in Ojo, and they macheted his forehead. And I said, you cannot continue like this, right? We are going to have to investigate at a point. Who are the people that did these things, right? And you are going to, those who are going to have to face the full wrath of the law.
Do you know who macheted him?
Yes, he can identify them.
Do you know who they are? Are they affiliated? I mean,
yes, they're affiliated to the APC.
And you can confirm?
Yes, and same thing happened with the Flag Boys around Oshodi Interchange, that whole new place. They were nearly burnt alive. We reported to the police. Till yet, nothing yet has been done, right? So I'm saying, because you have power now and the state's apparatus is working your interests, always consider that one day the tables will turn and you are going to have to account for all of these things.
So why did you delete the tweet then, if it came from where you think it came from?
The honest truth is, I work with a team, right? And my team felt that, you must start to talk like a governor. And talking like a governor also implies that your emotions and the injustice that you feel must also be communicated in a way that is very neutral, right? And I listened, right? So that's me being honest. That's the truth.
Do you regret putting out the tweet?
No, I think that I'm human. And I saw that, and it's building up on a lot of things. Even forget this tribal thing. Look at all the rumors about markets that are burnt, later reclaimed by the state, that a modern building is built, and the people that have been there cannot afford to rent stalls in that market. It also talks about evictions. It talks about forceful evictions of people. It talks about a development of Lagos that is not inclusive and is always marginalizing the poor. And the vulnerable in society are always the ones that are suffering. It's almost like there's a law, but the law is for only the poor, right? And the rich are just above the law.
My people, now the video now on a new watch finish. So on a see what you happen for inside the video. Alright, my people, I would like to end the video for you. And if you never subscribe, you can subscribe so that I don't go miss any latest gist we add the upload. On a bye bye till I come on our next time. Bye guys, catch my next video. Bye guys.